just rolling along. Driving along in her bread truck early one morn, with everything going exactly as norm. Margaret spied a lone wheel on the left trundling ahead. Turned to her brother. The newspaper he read. "Hey, look at this! Someone must have lost a wheel." Jack looked up quickly. It almost didn't seem real. Suddenly her truck swerved sharply to the right. She grabbed hold of the steering with all of her might. "Uh-oh, it's our wheel," she suddenly realised. Then saw a cyclist cycling towards her, very surprised at the sight of a lone wheel and a truck bearing down. He quickly decided to turn his bike around. But Margaret had problems of her own on which to ponder. The truck had veered off the road into the thick bush yonder. Jack's newspaper had slipped from right out of his hands. The news of the day abruptly seemed old and bland. Luckily, the truck stopped a paper's breadth from a huge tree. Although Margaret's fingers from the wheel she couldn't prise free. But she had to recover quickly, for a replacement truck soon arrived. And she and her brother continued on with their drive. 15 years later, Margaret was once again driving, the day after her husband had fixed up her brakes lining. When the familiar image of a lone wheel up ahead she sighted, so she quickly prepared to keep her car righted, while still keeping an eye on her adventuresome wheel, which crossed 3 lanes of traffic and homed into an automobile dealership at the top of a very steep drive. It spun around and settled, safe and alive. Margaret herself followed the same track of her errant wheel in order to bring it back. After she returned, a man kindly stopped his car to say, "Your wheel nuts have fallen off about 50 metres away." So she walked back to retrieve them, then reattached the wheel. She didn't see the need to make it a big deal. But when she got home, there was plenty to say to her husband, who had enlivened her day. "Oh no," he protested, "I turned those nuts tight. A thief must have come in the middle of the night to steal the wheel, but been disturbed halfway through. You know I never would have left those nuts askew."